one, I want to go check out and see how the progress is going on Mount Edwards. I was over there the other day just to snap a quick picture to put on my Instagram to get more people interested in coming to ride. I know Devin was planning on a big day yesterday, so I imagine it's even further along. See this giant piece of bedrock here? There was a huge piece that the excavator couldn't get out, so we were like drilling. A lot of work was put in to like get rid of that bedrock. Also that this could go down a little bit further. We can get a little more lip height, a little more landing height without having to bring in a bunch more dirt. That was there for like a long time. It's good to see it gone. Look at this hip. Oh my gosh. Land here after 3 features. Big left-hand hip, which I love because I hip to the left. Roller, hip, rollers, and then maybe another little jump. So yeah, 8 features. It's insane that he has done 98% of the work of this on his own. There's like the odd time we come in with shovels and help. Like, it almost feels like we do nothing, but I know it is helpful. There's a intermediate line, and then there's also like a beginner line as well. I focus on the outer line kind of a lot because that's what we ride most of the time. But yeah, there is stuff for everybody here. So yeah, roll in, main line, all the way around the perimeter. Intermediate line got its own roll in here. 1, 2, 3, 4 features. But once you get over this one, looks like you're gonna berm into here, and you actually get to do these last few features as well. A lot of riding on either line for one roll in effort. This place has needed this so badly for so long. The original mission for this ride was getting croissants. Got one fresh out of the oven. If ever you find yourself in Dartmouth, go get a croissant from 2F by C. Okay, so bad and good news. I will just give you the bad news first because I can't ask you what you would like to get first. We have to postpone the opening jam of Mount Edwards. Right as I was leaving there, it started to rain. It really started to rain quite hard. Devin called me. He was like, there's no way this place is going to be anywhere near as dry as it needs to be for us to ride it by Wednesday night. That's just kind of the way this summer has been. We've been getting a pretty absurd amount of rain. We were hoping from the forecast we saw yesterday that it would be dry and everything would be good. It's not that there's more work to do, it's just it needs to be dry to ride. And we ended up getting more rain than expected today, even with like yesterday's forecast. So we have to postpone it. The opening jam is now going to be Tuesday, August 29th, 6 p.m. Come ride bikes then. Okay, now good news. The wheel and the brakes have arrived for the Twin T build, so we're gonna finish putting it together. It'll still be single speed, but it'll have brakes, dropper posts, wheels, and tires that belong to it. Before we get going, you may have noticed this just out of frame. This is a Porsche e-bike cross. More on that in another episode. So, these new wheels for the Twin T, very similar build to what I just posted Fast Norton getting. But this time in the much more desirable 30mm internal width. These are also laced up to Formula Boost width hubs. And then the rear is like the same story. Far from crazy light, far from the strongest, far from the most desirable, closest to getting the bike running as quick as possible. And I love that. So WTB has this red strip here. Written on it, it's called the solid strip. It's 11mm wide. The idea is that you tape over this and it just gives an extra layer of like protection for the tape to not go into the nipple holes. I think it's a little overkill, especially considering I use Gorilla Tape as tubeless tape, but it's on there, so I'm gonna leave it on and use it. There will be no benefit, I don't think, but like, I don't know. Okay, I've said this before and I've regretted saying it in a video and had to cut it, but the most fun part about a new tubeless rim, new tape, and a new tubeless tire is not using a compressor and just putting a track pump on it and it blowing out, like it just taking air and going onto the Right, so now wheels and tires are on. Now for brakes. As I mentioned in the first video where I introduced the twin T-frame, giving TRP another try. These are not completely together and bled. Kind of hoping they're like the Shimano's and there's like all the fluid. I won't have to bleed them even after trimming. I'm definitely gonna leave them really long so that I can play with different bars, different forks and everything. So they're gonna look a little funny, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. Brake install seems like it went pretty good. Not leaking. They've got power. They're not like pulling to the bar or anything. Pretty happy with that. Dropper post. PNW 125 millimeters of drop and PNW loam lever. Oops. Loam lever. Most of this is external. It goes into the frame just down at the seat tube here. So it's going to be really quick. Okay, this thing is finally together the way that it was meant to be together on the first build. You may notice, yes, I am using a 650B fork with a 29-inch wheel in it. I did test it. I took all the air out, pushed it all the way down. The Panaracer Driver Pro in 29 by 2.4 that I have on there has a small enough lug that it doesn't touch the fork crown at full travel, so it'll be okay. It's just a little tight for like mud clearance, but I had the fork, so it's on there. This thing built up single speed with the dropper post and brakes and everything. Actually came out to, I took a picture, but it's like 30 pounds, 10 ounces, which I think is pretty good because the Twin T is a pretty gnarly heavy frame. And actually the way that Fast Norton is built up now, this thing is 30 pounds, 4 ounces. So this has gears obviously, but you know, pretty much the same weight. That's pretty good. I thought this was going to go a lot quicker. I guess I haven't really done like a full build in a while to remember that it always takes way longer than you think it's going to. It's super dark out now, so we can't go like ride it. I think we'll dedicate an entire upload to a like a review of this thing, first ride impressions. It definitely won't be tomorrow because I actually have something else scheduled. Everything I use in this video is linked below. Merch store if you're interested.